this point in my life, what drives me? I'd have to say the feeling of gratitude, for what we can do with our minds, with our bodies, with our health, and having each other. And I think that's why I've lived in the car all these years. You know, I've got my freedom, I've got my happiness, and that's the winning ticket for me. Blackfishing, it's a bit of a ritual, you know, and you go and get the weed and you're sitting there watching the float go down and you're in a float trance, and Annie was in a float trance too. And I think that's where she found the love for fishing, and she fell in love with the ocean.
Well, I may not be you and you not me, but between us there are certain similarities. Like I believe in love and the devil will come looking for us when we're wrong.
Yeah, that was our little winter rhythm, and go and catch a few blackfish, watch the sun come up together, and go and play in the ocean after with your mates, and cherish memories and cherish moments.
Just a nice little belly there, eh?
Yeah.
I feel like belly and concave, it's got plenty of that. We just need to widen these bands just a touch.
Jump off, nobody gonna know. Can't you see? Oh, can't you see what that woman, Lord, she been doing to me? Can't you see? Can't you see what that woman, she been doing to me? I'm gonna buy a ticket now, as far as I can. Ain't a never coming back.
I think surfing's probably the biggest buzz, and just going surfing and being able to surf and you know, just to be out there in the ocean and in God's creation and be grateful for every moment that we've got, because you don't know, you know, you just don't know what's around the corner.
It all started with a board Chris O hand-shaped about 15 years ago. I pulled it out of the roof in his shed, and we've been on a tangent ever since.
No, I'm not the loudest. No, I can't allow this.
That was an interesting twin fin. A, it was asymmetric. B, it had a shovel head nose on it. Then it's like a big rounded square nose. It was really just a tail template put on the nose. And then it had like an asim S-tail sort of thing, and then I had keels on it. Took to it like a duck to water, mate. She loved that board. It was a really good board. Yeah.
So come on home. Come on home. Whatever that means, whoever that means, come on home.
She pulled a sketchbook out, and I was blown away. I thought that she'd gone home and copied everything that she'd done and just did little drawings. I said, where'd you get these? She said, I've been drawing these drawings for years. I'm going, you're kidding. goosebump moment. I said, "You're kidding?" She said, "Yeah. Nearly every board in her book was hanging on my factory roof or around the floor somewhere, or under the house, under the shed. And all the designs that she'd done, all her ASINs, all those kooky sort of drawings and designs and things that she'd done were actually, she'd drawn them all before there. So it was just kind of a bizarre moment that blew me away. That was just like, oh my goodness, we are meant to work together. So much for me doing retirement work. But that's a really fun thing too, because, you know, it's like, oh wow, someone who sort of gets it.
Wow. Holy shit.
Can you say that backwards?
Shitly hole.
No, backwards. Wow.
Oh, wow?
Yeah, can you say it backwards?
Yeah, wow.
Wow.
It's a beautiful thing when you meet someone that you can create your biggest passion with and that you also share life values with, and that's something Chris and I definitely share. And I love how he kills his own food, he grows his own veggies, and on top of all of that, he's creating surfboards. He's glassing, he's shaping, he's foiling fins. And to be around someone like that and to share those passions together, that's a special feeling.
Oh, so fat. Stick your hand in there, mate, nice and warm. Equipment won't function. There's your heart. Oh, it's been an interesting trip at times.
Thank you.
Poor old Raymond.
Raging Raymond. He's not raging at the moment. He's having a much needed rest.
It's actually really interesting. I feel her depths are pretty well unfathomable, and you know, her heart, everything she does is from the heart. And I'm really blessed to be part of her family and her story, you know. It's really cool.
When you find those special people in life, you hold on to them like treasure, and I think love and happiness is the biggest treasure of all in life, and Charlie and I are so blessed to have Chris, Jane and Sal in our lives, truly.
Be careful, you know, look for it, care for everything, care for this, care for that, care for each other. And we'll have family getting stronger together because they're caring for each other when they apply the Kanyini principles. And then when we start caring for what needs caring for, which is Mother Earth, our waterways, our environment, our air, and that's the beauty of that oneness. Oh, it's so inclusive. It doesn't push anyone out, but it brings everybody in. This day is getting older, in fading light. It's beautiful.
Oh, look at this
Wind is blowing colder, and too
Johnny's
soon
prepping. Johnny!
feel its pull. Still, I took all my chances.
Yeah, I am.
Myself
Sunny
and
side.
even scar. Try to learn my lessons well.
Johnny had the chronic arthritis there for a while, and he could barely get down the beach, let alone bloody stand up on a surfboard. And he was still out there and sharing the ocean with me, smiling and having fun and chasing that feeling. you know, chasing that feeling we all live for.
I'll be with you even though we're apart, but your road is yours to tread, and so it goes, and so it goes, and so it goes, slows your mind, 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 so it goes, and so it goes, and so it goes, slows your mind, 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 mind.
This is gonna be fucking hectic. Are you ready for this?
I've grown old on this ocean, gave her all my stronger years.
It's taken a long time, for sure. Like, you know, it's a quarter of a century of my life. You know, it's shaped my life majorly because I've been tired. I feel responsible because when I bought this blog, my intention was to improve it, to make it better, to make it more biodiverse.
Yeah, she has. Because she knows that they're good. Yeah,
I like that one that's next to mine. Something like that, you know what I mean? And then, but I'm incredibly driven. So I think it showed the kids that it's really important to follow what makes you tick and makes you feel good and feel happy and feel connected and feel part of, you know, I think being part of something is really important, you know, not being belonging to land or community, to ocean, surf community. I haven't lived a normal kind of working career because I've worked for myself and I've been fortunate in that I've been able to do that. They're sort of round town in people's bellies now, feeding the surfers. The way I brought the kids into the world with home birthing and free birthing, I think that's probably sort of sums it up. It's like I'm listening to my body, and I'm gonna bring these kids. I'm gonna birth them, and I don't need anybody else to tell me how to do it, and I don't need anyone else to tell me that this is something I need help with because it's just, you know, all the other animals don't. We're one and we're the same and we're all connected, and if we can tune in and listen to that raw power and that raw energy, I think we can do whatever we want, really. The kid's been born at home independently and then breastfed for a long time, like a really long time, breastfed together. So, you know, not many people do that these days. There's not many women who will go that far, but I was like this fierce lion, like protector. So it definitely shaped their lives. And home educating, not going to school, not going down that normal path. It'd be so much easier to send my kids to school. You know, I could have gone surfing from 9 till 3 every day. It'd be easier. But I think, you know, choosing to home educate and taking that responsibility on and choosing what we're feeding and what you know, from a young age, what they're being We kept it pretty sheltered, you know, because I think that there's too much intense, you know, like devices and all sorts of things. And yeah, I was pretty protective of my kids, and I still am to a degree, but at the same time they're out there in the wild, raw Southern Ocean, and that's going to shape their journey. And Zephyr's the same, you know, with a intense observation and passion about birds and plants and understanding. She, you know, I've taught her all I know, and she's just taking it to the next level now. She's really beautiful, yeah. And she can do that in the surf as well, because I'll be sitting on the shoulder watching her, you know what I mean? Yeah. But she's had Mum to be with her, to guide her out there. For us, for Tim and I, like, yeah, we feel like we're allowing them the freedom to really know who they are, and that's going to shape their journey. And fiercely precious. I think it's so, I'm just so grateful. To have everything around me that is to my kids, that's just, you know, that's the most precious thing for me. It's so precious. You know, it actually makes me afraid of losing it, you know. Whereas maybe before kids it wasn't so much, but now it's just like their journeys and their beautiful souls. I just want to be a part of their life and see that through as long as I can.
She stokes me out big time and pushes me. Yeah, I guess a best friend way, a sisterly way. She's just one of my biggest inspirations in life, really, just the way she lives her life.
So these are pears.
That's my favourite dried fruit, I reckon. What about you, Anne?
Well, look at it. Jujube.
Oh, that's jib.
This is a jujube.
That's code for double jib. Jib.
Whether it's, you know, sharing waves together and building that surf community with friends and kids and families in the surf, or it's food co-op and trying to come together and celebrate food, sharing what we each have and sharing our produce together and buying in organic food, supporting what you believe in. I think it all takes time, but I think that it's so immense in like what it gives back to bringing people together. Like, you know, it's like bringing people together to get the water from the well. It's going back a step. You're coming together and you're working together to share out the food, and most of the food that we're putting on the table that we're about to eat is coming from the garden, and it's, you know, it's a really wholesome, satisfying, full circle feeling. I don't have much, you know, financial money, and like people often say, you know, if you got like heap money all of a sudden, what would you do different? And I just sort of look blank. I'm like, well, when I wake up tomorrow, I'd still want to do what I'm doing, even if I had a heap of money, because for me, it's the doing that I love.
Man and the white man and everyone in between.
Actually, yeah, bring them over here. They need
Are these the drop ones or?
Oh, it's a
bit mixture.
actually a mixture. And just like really onto it, like going fishing together in the ocean, like going fishing together, and she's just like raw and real and wild. Like, oi, we caught enough squid. Let's try something else. And it was, it's like the two of us get together, and it's like, it's pretty wild. We just get back to basics and primitive. We're just biting the squid off with our teeth for the bait, and covered in ink, and Mark and laughing our head off and having a great time, and like time, just the best way to get around the fence.
Oh, okay. Is it? Well, it is, eh? It follows you through.
You can go left field from the rat race and follow your dreams and do what's right, and so you feel good about your impact on the planet. The groundwater we have here, the landscape, the revegetation of it.
Gather the hands to move the stone.
All those things, like standing up and being united, standing up together, and if big companies are coming in, it's like stand up and come together for our children and show the community that people can come together and make change and keep those big profits and that big money out of special places.
Sing it up to the heavens and let it rain down on us all. Sing the love, the storm. Sing it up to the heavens and let it rain down on us all. Gather the hands to move the stone. Gather the hands to move the stone. Sing it up to the heavens and let it rain down on us all. Gather the hands to move the stone. Gather the hands to move the stone. Sing it up to the heavens and let it rain down on us all.
I think at some point in your life, well, in my life, I realised that you can do what you want and you can do it your way, and that's that. And I just packed up the truck and I left. And in the early days, it was a little car, and I didn't have much, but it got me to where I am today. And you don't need much in life, and I think the less you have, the more time you have, and time is precious, and it's something that you don't get back. Oh, I'm not sure how clean that I actually am. It feels better than I did before.
She'd have problems in school, and she had trouble with sitting still, and she just wanted to be outdoors and in nature and running wild with the elements. I really could see how spirited she was, and I didn't want that spirit to be broken. So I actually pulled her out of school. I took that on board as a mother and really embraced her little spirit and let her be free. So she's still that free spirit. She came from the stars into the water. that's how I birthed her. And that connection never leaves us, because the water is emotion and energy in flow in each and every moment.
I just thank my mum. I thank my mother so much just for giving me this life and giving birth to me and allowing me to live this journey, because without her, none of this would be possible. None of this would be even relevant. You're just a speck, you know, I guess. you're a speck in the up in there, and you're plucked down, I guess, to live this journey. And
she's chronically leaking ass, proper fish syndrome.
It's all about life and a love for the land.
She's tapped that into me from such a young age, and anything's possible. You don't need a lot to make it possible. Just to be free and follow your heart and follow your dreams. And I've been doing it with the bare minimum from a very young age, and I left in the car and chasing what you love and what you live and breathe. And
get ready with your shit on. Gonna jump
It's
in
where we belong. North wind coming in my way.
Yeah, let's go.
Jumula Nadina.
and I'll continue that for the rest of my life. And I thank Mum for that. I thank Mum for engraving that freedom in me from a very young age. And if you're going there to this sacred place and you're taking only what you need, it's there for the generations to come. For me and myself, that I follow that practice in myself, and that I go to a place and I know that I've only taken what I needed, and it's a wholesome feeling. I make sure in myself that I nurture all those values, because it's huge for me, and I know that I can go back in 10 years and Charles can go and pull a fish out of there where I fished 10 years ago, you know, and that's what matters for me.
Thank you for this beautiful fish. Far out.
And that's knowledge that my granddad's passed down to me, my dad's passed that knowledge on to me, and my mum from my granddad, and it's like this circle of just beautiful knowledge that we can gift onto our beautiful chosen family and our loved ones.
We're so lucky that we can collect our own food, and some people aren't so fortunate.
And it's something truly special to share, you know, to share our special gifts that we have, and what we get from our beautiful ocean and what's in it, and the beautiful creatures that we get to be around and immerse with. And I think we all have a story. We all have a heartbeat. We all have feelings, and we all have this little soul inside of us that is just there to be nurtured. And sharing that oneness together. And that comes in the ocean, you know, sharing that oneness, that sense of peace. Looking back, stepping back and just go, yeah, hey, I'm a speck in this big pond and everyone's here. It gives us so much, and I think that's how we can give back to it, is just all belong. Just life just drives me. To live and breathe this. And get up and chase waves or go for a fish and come back and make a beautiful feed. That's what drives me. Feeling that we receive from her, from Mother Ocean, that's what drives me, that feeling, and I love it and I long for it. The abundance of joy, and just, we're so blessed. I feel blessed every day. I feel blessed every single day I wake up, and I feel blessed every single night I go to sleep in this car. And just as long as I get the fillets in the fridge, pretty soon we'll be right. How's that? We drove about 10 k's with a hole full of Annie. Sit down. What a magnificent fish. Far out. Pulling him up the hill was a good one in the booties. Gonna put this in the fridge until tonight because the flies are pretty gnarly. And finish packing it, and then we'll turn the fridge onto freezer. Very grateful for how much meat we've got, and that fish is going to keep us going for a long time, and I'm going to share it with some close friends, I'm sure, and swap some food for his beautiful life. And just, yeah, super grateful. And going to go get rid of the head now over here in a pool and give it back to the ocean. The fish and the crabs will feast on that. I could give it to Annie, but it just doesn't feel right, you know. It feels right to give it back to the ocean.
And I love how Talia wears grubby clothes. I love that, like, because it's like me. And she doesn't give it stuff. That's, yeah, special.